Missing someone.
Hey guys, so I was supposed to post up a weekly video of my skate session, but this week I didn't get to do it because I only skated twice and both times were not the best. So I am instead going to talk about some things that I have picked up while longboarding, and when I say picked up, I mean learned. I have been trying to learn the frontside no comply 180, and it is really hard for me. I don't know if it's because my board is too big for my size. I'm a really short person. I'm riding a loaded Tarab board with Orangatang fat frees. I think they're 65mm ADAs. I'm riding on Paris trucks. That's pretty much all that I remember. I'll probably put it down in the description below what my setup is, but it might be my setup. I don't know. If any of you guys out there know if that's the right size for me and the right wheels for me for the things that I'm trying to do, then let me know. I'm just really struggling with this trick and I can't get it down for the life of me. These last two sessions have been really focused on that one trick, and I have not landed it consistently yet. I've landed it a couple times, but there's still pretty sketchy landings, so I don't want to say that I got it down to a T. I think there are just a few things that I want to talk about that I have discovered while longboarding, so that any of you guys who might be thinking about taking up longboard dancing or longboard freestyling, you kind of have an idea of what to expect. I am still 3 weeks in, so I am not the expert, but these are some things that I have discovered in my journey toward longboard dancing and freestyling. The first thing is that longboarding is an investment, not just financially, but time-wise. Financially, you have to drop quite a bit of money because these boards are not cheap. You have to set it up with the bearings, the trucks, the wheels. That costs extra on top of the board that you are purchasing, which is the most expensive part. So if this is something that you really plan on investing time and money in, just know that you are going to be spending more than $200. I don't want to say less than, unless you buy like a really cheap board, but if you really want to get into this sport, then I really recommend that you invest in a good board, a solid board that'll help you get to the level that you want to be in. It's an investment time-wise. You have to spend a lot of time trying to get the tricks down. It's gonna be a while before you get it down the way that you want it to and to look fluid when you do it. I spend maybe 3 to 5 days a week skating. If I'm not skating a full session, I'm probably skating for 30 minutes in my backyard. I have a long enough strip of land where I can kind of do some tricks and some steps. It does take a lot of your time when it comes to perfecting the step or the trick that you want to learn and that you are trying to get down into your combos. You have to invest time in your process to progress. The second thing is, it can be a brutal sport. You will get bruises, you will fall, it will hurt, and it will suck, but you just have to keep getting back up. It is a graceful sport when you know what you're doing. If you look at the videos of people who are longboard dancing, it looks so graceful and so fluid, but the process of learning to get there is not as graceful. I can't tell you how many times I've slipped and fallen and bruised myself just trying to get a cross step down or a 180 step down or a Peter Pan. I look like such a kook trying to get the steps, and I'm always like awkwardly balanced like this, but you will eventually get there. That's what I have to keep telling myself, because there are days when I'm skating and I'm frustrated because I can't get my steps down properly or as fluidly as I want to, and I can't get my freestyle tricks down. I actually only know like one freestyle trick, so I can't say freestyle tricks. But the freestyle trick that I am trying to learn, it's really hard to get down for me personally. But I know that if I keep practicing, if I keep going through the process, then I will eventually get to the level that I want to be in. Learning the movements is kind of in a natural movement for your body because you're carving in ways that your body isn't naturally comfortable with, especially when you're doing these steps. You're leaning a certain way, but your board is going another way and your feet are doing another thing. So it's a lot of unnatural movements, but the more that you practice, the more it feels natural, and you will get there eventually. You just have to keep practicing. That means falling a lot and slipping a lot and looking like a kook half the time, but it's worth it when you get it down. The last thing is be patient with yourself. It's a process and you will progress the more that you put time into practicing, but it is a long road ahead of you. I'm only 3 weeks in and I'm not where I want to be, but I know that the more that I practice, I'll become a better skater, I'll become more patient with myself, and your persistence and your resilience to getting the tricks down will help you in the long run. The more that you allow yourself some grace and remind yourself that it's a process and it will take time. You can't compare yourself to people who have been skating for years. That's what I have a tendency of doing. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube and Instagram. I follow a lot of longboarders, and sometimes it can be discouraging because you want to be at that level. I would suggest look at them as inspiration, but don't look at them as comparison to yourself or your skills or your abilities, because everybody starts from the beginning at some point before they get to where they are now. And one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, remember when you couldn't do that cross step, or remember when you couldn't land that no comply, and you're gonna laugh at yourself because back then it was hard and now it's a lot easier. So be patient with yourself. I'm usually the type of person that wants to see results immediately, but that's not what's gonna happen with longboarding. So if you're like me who wants to see results right away, it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna get on the board and tomorrow you will still probably be at the same level you were yesterday if it's only one day apart. But if you look back after a month, you're gonna see how much you've progressed. And it's not gonna be perfect, but it is gonna be progress, and that's what matters. So just be patient with yourself, know that it's a process and it's worth it. And as much as there will be days that you don't feel like skating and you don't feel as confident in yourself or as proud of yourself in the process, know that tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow may be better, and tomorrow you might land the trick. So just keep doing it and keep progressing, because we all know that life is a progression. Hope you learned something, and go out there and skate and share the stoke.
There you go, ice cream after this.
Yeah.
And you pick me up.
Okay. There you go.